Okay, so we're checking out Sharky here. You've been working on getting your UVs ready. The first step was to smooth Sharky, which you have done, so that's a step in the right direction. But unfortunately, your UVs here are not set up quite correctly. Okay, so one of the things we went over in the last video is that when we set up those UVs, at the beginning there was a seam down the side of Sharky, and we wanted to move that down to underneath Sharky so that it's not as visible to people playing the game or watching the animation, this seam, okay? So when we did our projection, there was one step that was missed, okay? That we're gonna have to go in and fix, alright? So, you know, just whenever you're checking out the videos and things, make sure you pay attention to the little details, because in this case, we're going to wind up having to recreate the UVs here, okay? So, let's go ahead and recreate these UVs. I've got Sharky selected, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and go to Create UVs. We'll do Cylindrical Mapping. There we go. So now the UVs look like this, alright? And that's not what we want, obviously. First step, let's come over to our projection horizontal sweep here in our channel box. And rather than having this come around only 180 degrees, I want this to fully encompass Sharky so that we get a projection from every angle, okay? So I'm going to change this to 360 degrees, which is a full circle, alright? So now it's fully encompassing Sharky. Now it looks like this, alright? Still not right, of course. So the next thing that we'll go ahead and do is rotate this, because you know, at the moment, this is a really awkward way of looking at Sharky. We're kind of taking a picture of him from every angle like this, when it would be much simpler if we were looking at him in this kind of a way, okay, taking pictures like that. Alright, so we are going to rotate this. I'm going to go to rotate Z here, and I'm going to hit 90 for 90 degrees. We'll rotate that by. So now you can see our projection is going around like this, okay? And it looks like this. Now, this is obviously way stretched out, and it's, you know, kind of a problem. So we want to adjust this, alright? First thing I'm going to do is grab this little blue handle in the center here, alright? To adjust the size of this, I can click and drag on this blue handle to adjust the size, alright? Also, when I press spacebar in my scene window here, I bring up several other views that I can look at Sharky through, alright? And if I hover my mouse over one of these views and press spacebar again, I can kind of full screen that view. So, I'm grabbing that blue handle in the center, just clicking and dragging, and I'm sizing this circle so that it's just about, you know, just really close to the tip of the pectoral fins here, but again, we don't want it to come in further than the fins, and we don't want a whole bunch of space between the fins and the circle, alright? So just bring it in pretty close, just like that. Okay. Next thing we'll do is adjust this for length, alright? Because right now it's ending right here. We want it to encompass Sharky's entire body. So to adjust that length, I can grab one of these little green handles here, alright? You can see that. Click and drag, and I can adjust the length of this. Now I want the length to be just past the tip of Sharky's nose, and on this side it should also be just past the tip of Sharky's tail, alright? So I can adjust that. Alright, so this is what I have now. Okay, so we've got everything in there, and this looks fairly similar to what you had before, okay, and this is where the seam is still going down the side. If you can kind of imagine this, where these faces are on Sharky, basically this here is going to be the bottom of Sharky, alright? You can see all those fins there. Basically, this is just like a snapshot of the bottom of Sharky, alright? So this edge here, this seam that we've created, is right here coming down the side of Sharky, okay? So this was a step that you had skipped over before, okay? So just really make sure that you get this part, okay? We're gonna move that seam from the side of Sharky down to underneath Sharky where it's less visible, alright? And to do that, I'm just gonna come to rotate Y here, alright, on my projection circle, and I'm gonna hit 90 degrees. I'm gonna rotate it by 90 degrees in Y, okay? So you'll see that rotate, all your little handles rotating there, and when we look at the UVs now, they will look like this, okay? And so this is the center seam of Sharky, alright? And that's just going straight down the bottom of Sharky here, okay? That's where that seam is now placed. And this right here would be the top center, okay? That would be the dorsal fin right here. And here's one pectoral fin and another pectoral fin. You can kind of see where that's going and how that goes. So make sure that when you set up those UVs, before you start doing any work with these UVs, that you first have them set up correctly, okay? So make sure that you have this seam going down the bottom of Sharky, alright? Okay, so that's it for this video about setting up the UVs. Once you're done setting up the UVs, go back to object mode here, just select Sharky. You can come up to your texture editor and you can begin editing these UVs based on the rest of the UV mapping video, okay? Thanks for watching, and happy mapping!